Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Real Madrid versus Arsenal Champions League match preview. And the reason I haven't brought in my co-host yet, because I want this to be done first.
I would say that, be excited.
G's back. Yes. I didn't let anyone know. I just said that there's a special co-host joining me on Tuesday night. I didn't want to let anyone know. But how you doing, mate?
I'm good. I mean, it feels like I'm making my debut all over again. It's been so long. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been streaming. But aside from that, I mean, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the show. How about yourself?
Good. Yeah, I'm always looking forward to the shows. Even this weekend when it's up against that poopy place in Suffolk, one of the worst teams I hate. But there we go. But no, I love the previews. I love the reactions as well. And as everyone knows, I am doing the watch along tomorrow. There is a reason, because any Arsenal game I seem to do recently, we are so poor, and the game is so dreadful that my theory is if I watch it, it will be so poor and so dreadful that it will be a 1-1 draw and we go through. There will be no shock, no Arsenal going down in Champions League history for dropping. I'm going through pain for everybody for tomorrow. That's how I'm doing. Temi saying, "Evening, Bobby. Hope you're doing well, Tem." As always, loves the intro. Tony's got a new one. I'm going to guess he's waiting for next season now to put in the new one, but he has got a new one. We are losing.
Oh dear, no, please.
No, he does reverse psychology. It's painful to read every single time, but he does his reverse psychology. So, yeah, let's hope so. Although I already placed, I know why you've done that. It's because I'm watching it. You know my games are always awful. Big up to Chris. Hope you're doing well. G has been found after missing profiles.
I'm back.
I can't be excited. I'm playing Madrid at the Bernabeu without Gabriel and a striker, 100%. Yeah. If Arsenal get knocked out, blame Bobby. How's that my fault? I'm doing my best to make sure it's a really dull game. Evening, PB. Big up to Brenny. My spider sense told me it was G. Great to see you back on. Thank you, PB. But yeah, obviously we're doing the Real Madrid match preview. And what I do with these two-legged games is I actually go back to the match details from the previous game. So what I want everyone to look at very, very, very carefully here is this game for Arsenal was the weirdest game that we've seen for quite a long time. 12 shots, 11 on target. That doesn't happen for Arsenal. Doesn't. Okay, so bear that in mind, because I guarantee tomorrow night will be very different. It'll probably be 9 shots, 1 on target. Let's be honest, because that's what we used to in the Champions. Well, in current form at the moment, anyway. And they had 3 shots out of 9, which again I expect to be different tomorrow night. To be honest, you know, Raya. For me, I think Raya should be man of the match tomorrow night. If I'm honest, that's what I'm hoping anyway. XG, look. As I said, we scored 3, but our XG was only 1.64. That tells you everything about the set plays by Declan. Were not expected to score them. That's why it was XG on target was 2.76. Now, ground duels, I've been really, really picky on this for quite a while now. I think we lost them all at the weekend against Brentford as well, which I'll be honest is not good. When you're losing them to Brentford, and we lost them to Real Madrid, that is where he needs to sort it out, because we shouldn't be losing duels. We've been saying for so many years about the spine needs to be stronger. I feel we're still a little bit weak because these duels are just awful. I know it's Real Madrid, and I know some people don't think it's the Real Madrid of many years ago. It's not, but they're still Real Madrid. Let's be honest. It's not like it's Deportivo La Coruna, who used to be massive and now don't exist pretty much, or Bordeaux or someone like that. This is still Real Madrid. It's still a very good team. They're second in their own league. You know, that's not easy because they've got teams against like Atletico, Valencia, Seville, Villarreal, Bilbao. You know, they've got loads of good teams they've got to play against, and they're still second. Now, with these stats, G, are you worried about how they might literally turn up and put this master class on tomorrow?
You know what it is? And And it's crazy because I think this is the one game or the first game in a long time that I've spent so much time thinking about it, as in before, during, after, ahead of the second leg. Like, it's, even though obviously we're doing other stuff like work and whatever, like it's really kind of consumed, you know, like my kind of mindset and my kind of interactions online and stuff like that. I think the first game, I think for me personally, I never envisioned it. I didn't envision us dominating the game, getting the goals that we did, actually being clinical, putting them on the back foot. I was actually quite surprised how poor they were offensively. You know, at the end of the day, I think, you know, their goalkeeper was the best player on the pitch. So that was a massive shock for me and a massive surprise. And I've got to be honest, I mean, that kind of reaffirmed and kind of reinvested some belief.
Yeah.
It's not to say that I didn't believe in the boys or I didn't believe in Arteta, but I do, you know, we've had conversations. There have been times this season where that kind of belief in this group and in the manager has somewhat waned at different times. And I know there is context, injuries, etc., etc. I get that. But there have been times when I've kind of thought, you know, is this group good enough? Is this manager good enough? And I think that massively was kind of eye-opening for me. So when I go and look at these stats, I'm thinking about like the return leg. It's a difficult one because for me, it's like if we play the team and not the occasion, and we keep our heads, I think there's only one winner across the two games. I'm not saying we're going to win on the night, but I think we've got a 3-goal lead. Like, we are favourites. We should progress. You know, the fact that we've got ourselves to this position. So I think if we play the match and we play the game and not the occasion, and we don't get overwhelmed and we don't lose our heads, we should progress. We should win the tie across the two legs. My only concern is, and this is something that I've spoken to you before, I think everybody who knows me on X or in personal life will tell you that I've always had question marks over our mentality. And I've always had question marks over us sometimes losing that kind of psychological mental battle when it really matters. That's my only concern. So when I look at these, I mean, I'll be honest, I know you're a stat man and I know that's part of your job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not too concerned with regards like possession. I'm not too concerned about the stats, the XG. I think tomorrow night's game is going to be won and lost on how we deal with it mentally. Yeah. If we go there and we crumble mentally, I think Real Madrid will just sweep us up, chew us up and spit us out. I don't think, I know statistically they haven't scored 3 in a comeback. And I know statistically we haven't conceded more than 2 in like 700 days or whatever it is. But I mean, tomorrow night's going to be different, right? It's 90 minutes and it's at the Bernabeu, so anything can happen. But for me, it all comes down to how we approach the game mentally. Like, have we learned our lessons? Have we become more resilient? Have we become more mentally strong? If we conquer those doubts in our mind, that psychological aspect of the game, we win. But if we don't, they could catch us. And they could make this tie very interesting. But that's just my opinion.
No, my memory sucks. But when we went to Lon, was that last season? When we went to RC Lon?
Oh God, yeah, my memory sucks as well.
We lost, didn't we? We lost to Lon.
Yes,
and that was away, and that was. I personally think that was to do with the situation. Obviously, Lon were very much up for that because obviously it was, I think, their first time in the Champions League for X amount of time, and that is the bit that worries me because Real Madrid are very prepared to rattle us tomorrow. They've got their ultras that are up to whatever they're going to be doing tomorrow. They're closing the roof. They're doing everything possible to rattle us, which fair dues, you know, that's part of the game, unfortunately. And that's what scares me. It's the fact that I've seen us fail before.
Yeah, same.
And the fact is that was Lon. A very good French team, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Lon, but this is Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They've got Mbappe, who I don't personally think he's the best striker in the world, but a lot of people do. And he could quite easily score 3 or 4 goals in one night without blinking an eyelid. Vinicius Junior could score 3 or 4 goals. It could be a nightmare.
Yeah. My only thing is, and this is not, and like I say, that covers my concerns. Approaching the game in terms of my optimism approaching the game. We've struggled with low blocks.
Yes,
Real Madrid are not coming to a low block.
Oh hell no!
So Real Madrid are coming to throw the kitchen sink at us.
Yes,
and this is why I say if we play the game and not the occasion, if we keep our heads, we are going to get space. We are going to get opportunities. We are going to, get chances. Real Madrid are not defensively great.
No.
When you look at them on paper, I think they are much better on paper than they actually are playing this season in terms of form. Because I've watched them, they're however many points behind. But even since we played them, I've watched them a couple of times in some of their games, and I catch their games, every now and then, and they're not blowing teams away. How they did last season or how they have done previous seasons. So while I am concerned about the kind of mental, psychological aspect of how we approach the game, I am optimistic because we did absolutely demolish them 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. But also, they're not coming to low block. We've infamously failed. I can go as far as to say not just struggled, but failed to break down teams that come and just park the bus. They're not coming to park the bus. No. They're coming to just throw everything at us. And my only hope is that, so if our minds are right and we play the game and not the occasion, players like Martinelli, players like Saka are going to have tons of space to run into. Players like, Rice carrying the ball forward, Odegaard picking up passes, Partey picking up passes. You've got the right back and the left backs, Timber, MLS, inverted. There's going to be space and there's going to be opportunities. It's just whether we can take them. So, in an ideal world, they throw everything at us in the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then we pick them off with a couple of goals, and then it's game, set, match. Yeah. But, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes. But, there's reason for our little bit of fear. It's not like I'm not going there with 100% confidence like some people are. And I liked what you were saying about people on X talking about we haven't conceded X amount of goals for so many days. I'm like, you're not helping the situation here, guys, I tell you. Because when you play with the football gods like to smite you down.
Yeah.
So just leave it alone. I would have preferred no one talk about it. Just get
I'm of the camp like you. I'm not saying that we're through.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're going to, on X you get two extremes of the spectrum. So you get everybody they're already booking their tickets for the PSG game. And then the other half are just like, Arteta's crap, he's going to bottle it, we're going to throw away a 3-goal lead. Very few of us are actually somewhere in the middle. But I'm somewhere in the middle. So I don't believe we're through. I would never believe we were through. Even if we were playing whoever we were playing, I would still approach the game, and approach the opposition with respect and say, we've got a job to do. Because we know what football's like. We've seen it. We've all been watching football long enough to know that anything is possible in the 90 minutes. 100%. And then on the other hand, I'm not doom and gloom. I don't think that Madrid are going to just absolutely demolish us and knock us out. So I'm just somewhere in the middle in that I'm not sure how it's going to play out. Obviously, I hope it plays out in our favour for the reasons I've stated. But I am a little bit kind of suffering from a little bit of PTSD from previous experiences.
Well, exactly. Being you are old enough to remember shocks, Real Zaragoza comes to mind. No one expected them to beat us. Let's be honest. We thought we were so much better than them, and Naeem from the halfway line. I've seen us concede 4 goals in a game. Yes, exactly.
Let alone, do you know what I mean? I remember being 4-0 up against Newcastle.
Well, yes, that one I do try to forget.
That one is literally embedded in my mind. That one, I get that one. That one gives me nightmares. Yeah, that one genuinely. I just remember being 4-0 up in the game, just absolutely cruising. And then before you know it, even just turning the TV down slightly and getting on with some other stuff. And then before you know it, you're 4-4 and you've dropped 2 points. Like, how did that happen? So,
exactly.
this is football, man. We know how it goes.
Yeah, I like to respect the football gods, if I'm honest. Bobby does it for XG. XG is my favourite. Yeah. It just helps with my point sometimes with the XG. Sometimes XG is absolutely pointless. I was watching the game live while I was watching the XG live as well. Yes, on that side, I actually watched the XG counter as well. Martinelli had a chance against Brentford, and they put it down to 0.02 of a chance. And I was like, how do they work this out? Because I was watching it, I was thinking that was a good chance, but they put it down to 0.02 chance. I was like, okay, whatever. I went for a walk for 30 minutes. My XG was at 75%. Chris, you wind me up. Big up to Munzi saying, come on, Madrid. I'll be honest, mate, I can't remember who you're playing on Thursday. Who are they? Who Madrid? Oh, Leon, haven't they? They got Leon. No, I'm too much of a Monaco fan to say, come on, Leon. So no. Pick up to you though, mate. I can't believe I missed the intro. It's that long. Tony likes his long intros. You know, what can I say? Big up to Gary saying hello. If you don't progress, but there will definitely be an inquiry if you don't progress, mate. I can guarantee you that. My hard truth will be back very quickly than I was expecting if we don't go through. But we're not there yet, so we'll wait. Hashtag ban. If you score, which I think you will, in my opinion, if we get one goal, I think we'll be fine. I've always gone to the opinion if we can keep them out for 45 minutes, I think we'll be fine. That's how I look at it at the moment.
You get a goal and it changes. We get a goal and it completely changes. It's like it makes it almost like Mission Impossible. They get a goal and then all of a sudden, you know, the nerves start kicking in, and then all of a sudden they can get a second. So it's the first goal is going to be crucial.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, which is why I'm doing the watch along. So hopefully there's no goals.
Not only the first goal, it'll also be when it's scored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The timing of the goal and who gets it will be so crucial.
Oh God, yeah. Real Madrid 3, Wolfsburg was the only one top of my head. I think they beat Dortmund 5-2. I don't know when.
They've had some serious comebacks, man.
Yeah,
serious ones.
And they were losing 2-0 from the first leg, so they've done it a few times. And I know a certain person quite big on X and Twitter and YouTube has gone through all of them and not respected any of the comebacks, which I think is a bit ridiculous personally, but there you go. Real Madrid got 3 to 4 defenders out injured: Carvajal, Militao, Mendy, but regardless of that, they still got a great squad on paper, 100%.
Yeah.
All footballers do that when a stat comes out and they copy and paste that opinion and stat comes back to bite you. No luck gives us hope. Exactly. Arteta teams rarely crumble since 21-22 season. True. They don't, but they just don't perform sometimes. That's all I will say. Sometimes they don't perform.
Yeah.
I've seen you concede 6. Cheers for that, Muns.
I know. I've been seeing these comments. I'm not impressed.
The most notable PTSD comebacks involving my team, Liverpool, was Crystal Palace 3-3, Saka, and crikey, those players give me a nightmare. City coming down, yeah, exactly. But as a Liverpool fan, I've seen us do exactly. A lot of us have. We've come back from being pretty much out of games.
I'll be honest, like literally, like before, as a kid, I used to watch like all football, and I'd watch Liverpool play football. And I mean, some of those Champions League nights were just phenomenal. Like when I was growing up, it was very much like you supported the British team. So regardless who was playing in Europe, you watched the game and you supported them. Whereas now I find it really hard to support English teams. I do kind of secretly. I don't really sit down and watch like a Liverpool or United go. I really want them to lose. In the league, that's different. But in Europe, I don't. But it's like a dying generational thing because when I say that in groups, that I don't even mind that, Liverpool or United won or City won. Everyone's just like, what? How can you be? That's just old school. Like, you know what I mean? Growing up with my dad, that's what we did. We watched European football, and if it was an English side, we automatically supported them. But that's not really the case anymore. So sometimes I have to just pretend that hate watch some of these teams. You there, Bobby? I don't know if Bobby can't hear me or I can't hear Bobby. Chat, let us know. So is it just me live, chat? Let me know, because I think Bobby's gone. So I just need to know if I'm live and if Bobby's gone. If that's the case, then we can just chat. Oh, G take over. Okay, cool. Say nothing. Say nothing. You know, Chris, I always actually thought that you was an Arsenal fan. Don't ask me why. But I always thought Chris was an Arsenal fan for some strange reason. It's only like recently when I started watching some of the actual shows again, I realised that he was actually a Liverpool fan. I think Bobby's back.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's playing up. It's
No
bad
worries.
weather up here tonight. Yes, my bad. Munsey, I love you, but you obviously don't love me tonight. G takeover. Yes, I'd happily have let G take over. To be fair, you are live. Thank you, mate. He's been arrested for speaks. Definitely not me. Right, let's try and get through this because this weather's going to play me up, I think, tonight. So obviously, since the last game that we played them, we drew 1-1 with Brentford. Fantastic game it was. We played shit, but anyway. And they beat Alaves, and obviously we'll talk about that Mbappe challenge. But as far as I've heard, he's come back fighting. So I'm sure he'll be up for it tonight because obviously he's going to have the weekend off now due to being suspended. So, yeah, we're both second, by the way, in our leagues. They've won 20, drawn 6, lost 5. We've won 17, drawn 12. You can see our problem. We've only lost 3. Goals scored per game. Now, this is Champions League only, not in league. 2.5 for Arsenal, 2.2 for Real Madrid. Goal conversion for us. Yeah, goal conversion for us is 20%. You can tell what game that had to do with. PSV helped us out a lot there. Goal conversion for Real Madrid is 14. Goals conceded per game for Real Madrid is 1.5. Ours is 0.5. That is beautiful. The lowest in the Champions League. Chances created. This is where I have, again, a little bit more optimism because they only create chances 3.5 per game compared to us 3.6. They've only kept 1 clean sheet as well. We've got 6, so not too bad. Their home form, again, it kind of gives me a little bit of optimism. They've won 3, drawn 0, lost 1, goals scored 14. So technically, it's 3 a game at home. So
that's so interesting though.
Well, that's why I do them because it does kind of. When I get onto not the next one, but the ones with the passing accuracy and all that kind of stuff, it kind of does play out in the real game when it does get there. But I'm confident we'll score because if you look at our away, we do score a goal away. So I think we get a goal.
Their defense is just.
Well, let's be honest. Mendy's out. Obviously, would be number 1 choice.
We've got to score, man. Jeez.
Yeah, Vasquez, I still don't understand how Rooney picked him, but here we go.
Mate, I actually tweeted, like, I watched the video and actually went, how on earth has he picked him over Timber? You know what? The Rodrigo Saka one, don't get me wrong, I pick Saka every day of the week, but I thought Fairs. I thought, okay. But the Timber Vasquez ones, that is just ridiculous. You know, even Real Madrid fans don't even like him.
No, and he like 33 or something, and I don't think he's actually a fullback, is he?
Yeah, that is just madness. Like that was questionable, man. Big time questionable.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm a respectful Liverpool fan. Don't worry, Drew. Bobby support. Yeah, me and Chris have been speaking for years, even when I have my own channel. So it's always, it always keeps me company when I'm watching a horrible game. We talk about F1 and all sorts. I can't stand some Arsenal fans when they make excuses as an example, but I respect everyone's opinions. Yeah, I get that. You know, I remember someone was I can't. Well, I don't know. Like the Everton game. Oh, we dropped the points against Everton because of the poor decision. Yeah, I get that, but did you actually see the 90 minutes where we played crap?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't amazing in that
focus,
game.
Yeah,
They just focus on
focus
that one
incidents.
decision. Yeah, but if we were playing well, we would have won that game, but we didn't. So, but then we know. I had a fun. He was a winger anyway. Playing as a fullback, that's like expected to make it. My God. In all fairness, because Lewis Potter, who plays for Brentford, he is actually a winger, but he can play left back and he plays it brilliantly. Saka, played very well as a left wing back, defended very well, but obviously is now a right winger.
Yeah.
So you can do it, but Vasquez, for me, I've just never liked him as a player. I just think he's awful. I don't know how he's at Real Madrid. Very much like Ceballos. I don't understand how he's at Real Madrid. I really don't.
I know.
He must be having like relations with someone high up or something. I don't know what it is.
And I heard. I don't know if it was Jeff Shreves today say that he's arguably been one of their best performers. I mean, I've not watched. Yeah, I've not watched. When I heard it, I was a bit like, "Excuse me," but I've not watched Madrid enough this season to kind of, back up the argument or not. But I did watch. I don't know if it was Jeff Shreves. I don't know if I got confused, but I watched a clip about Madrid. I'd have to go back and see it. I checked the clip that I watched, and they said that Ceballos was back, and he's been arguably one of Real Madrid's best performers this season. I thought, wow. I said, if he's, I mean, I haven't watched him, but if he's been one of their best performers, then their elite attackers have not had a good season, then surely, because.
No, I obviously monitor it because I do all these shows, and Ceballos is not even in the top 10 of players that have played well for Real Madrid. So I don't know where anyone's got that from.
I'll find the clip after the show and I'll send it to you.
Thanks, mate. Big up to Marseille and Arsenal ladies. Yeah, they're playing Leicester tonight, aren't they? I'm hoping to do the Lyon game for them at the weekend. I'm hoping to. I need to sort out what I'm doing at the weekend. Yeah, Mbappe dirty kit. Yeah, that was a filthy challenge. I'm sorry, but that was disgusting. I know a lot of people had a problem with the Norgard one, which I think was a yellow and a half. Not enough for a red, but it was definitely more than a yellow. Yeah. But it was not enough for a red for me.
It's one of those ones where if you gave it, you'll say, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. I think if it was given a red card, I don't think it would have been overturned.
It was nothing. It was nothing on the Mbappe one. Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
that
was disgusting.
It just sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's insanity and cat, mate. It is. Right. So this is how we've played in Champions League again. So I've left out the league. It's just Champions League football. So average possession for both of us is 52%. So it's going to be extremely close for possession again, and it was last time we played them. It was quite close. XG for them is 27.2, for us 20.7. Shots on target for both teams is pretty much 0.2 between us. However, passes, they do a hell of a lot more passing, 494.8, but their passing accuracy is better than ours. Only not by much, but it's enough. Long balls. Now, you wouldn't really fault Real Madrid were a long ball team.
That's the one that surprised me.
Heavily a long ball team. Compared to us was a 14.1. Crosses don't do any, pretty much. 2.7. It's the lowest in the Champions League. It's 2.7.
Look at that XG conceded, though. Wow.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? The one thing I have to give to Arteta is, my God, has he sorted our defense out?
Yeah, man.
that's the one credit I can actually give him, because I know we're very hard to break down.
Not even in double figures.
I know. Jeez. Yeah, and we've played how many games in Champions League?
Wow.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't envision them not conceding tomorrow night. I really can't.
No, it's mad, isn't it?
And that's what gives me hope.
Yeah. Goals, open play for us is 20. Theirs is 24. 2 set pieces for us. 3 set pieces for them. Free kicks, obviously, now it's free. It's the only time we've actually scored free kicks this season is the Champions League.
Pretty close, though.
Yeah. 2 penalties for us, 1 for them. 1 own goal for us, none for them. Injury lists. Right. I do
Wow.
need to go through this a bit. So Jorginho is got a rib problem, but he shouldn't be out for too long. Obviously,
Okay.
at the time Flo came on, I was a bit concerned. Seeing Flo, she's actually our doctor, not physio. So I was a little bit, this can't be good. But no, we should be okay with Jorginho, but he's definitely going to be out for tomorrow's game and probably out for the weekend as well. Calafiori should be back, not next game, but the next game after that, which I believe is a home game against Palace.
Yeah, Palace or
That's
Bournemouth
next
or
Wednesday,
something
isn't
like
it?
that. Yeah.
Week on Wednesday is that game. Tomiyasu is obviously out for the season. Jesus Havertz is still out. I don't know where this has come from that he could be back by the end of the season. I'll be honest, I've not heard.
I said that to you, innit? There's rumours.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I've not heard it. Flo's not told me about it, so I'm still putting season out.
So we got Ipswich at the weekend, and we got Palace next Wednesday. We got Palace the following Wednesday. On the 23rd.
Yeah.
So that's when Palace will be back on against Palace potentially.
Yes, hopefully. Gabriel obviously out for the season. Partey is a doubt, but he has gone. I expect him to start, but I got a feeling he might probably on painkillers, if I'm honest. White is a doubt, and again, I don't think he'll be involved personally. So that is that. Obviously, my 5 to watch is next. I'll be honest, people has not changed from the last time, but I'm still going to go through them anyway. The reason I haven't changed them is because there is no one else really to talk about. I'll be honest. These are the 5 that in that team just scare me. It's as simple as that. Valverde, he played at right back against us in the first leg. I don't expect him to play there tomorrow when we play. I expect him to be in midfield because he is phenomenal. Personally, I'd take Valverde in a heartbeat if I could. Bellingham, I don't get all the hate on him, if I'm honest. I don't know what it is. I like him. I've always have. Obviously, he went to Dortmund, and obviously Dortmund's my German team, so I was probably a little bit biased on that. But
well, I think Bobby's internet's gone again. You there, Bobby? Bobby, you there? I think Bobby's gone again. Anyway, he was talking about Valverde and Bellingham. I mean, with those two in particular, you just keep chatting until Bobby manages to find his way back. I think Valverde, for me personally, will probably come back into the midfield for tomorrow night's game. I think he's completely wasted at right back or wherever he played in the first leg. So I think he'll come back in the midfield. It's interesting because I watched that clip of Rooney doing his combined 11 and he picked Valverde over Rice. It'd be interested in the chat if you had to choose between Valverde and Rice in that centre mid position. Which one would you pick? I won't reveal who I picked, but it'd be interesting to see who you lot would pick. I know Rooney picked Rooney picked Rice, and I mean Jude Bellingham. Yeah, I mean, I don't really get the hate. I think a lot of the disdain for Jude Bellingham has come from the fact that when he obviously went to Dortmund and then when he left Dortmund, he was kind of all, primed up to come to Liverpool or come to the Premier League. And I think that there is a certain level of kind of Premier League bias where he has chosen to go to La Liga over coming to the Premier League. I think a lot of English football fans from different clubs, certain clubs will have a certain kind of perspective of him, opinion of him, kind of think like he's a bit stuck up, he's a bit, stush, he thinks he's too nice kind of thing. But I've always rated Bellingham. I think he was brilliant at Dortmund. I think he came in at Madrid last season or so and he just hit the ground running, scored however many goals, won however many trophies. And when you think about what he's achieved at club level, and then what he's achieved with Real Madrid, at club level, but then also some of the big game moments he's had for England in an England shirt, I think he's an incredible player. And it's crazy to think he is only like 21 years of age or whatever. So yeah, no, he was quality. The 3 other players were the 3 attackers. So Bobby put up the 5 to watch, apart from Valverde and Bellingham. It was Rodrigo, it was Vinny, and it was Mbappe. I think all 3 personally were awful in the first game against Real Madrid. Against Arsenal. They were all awful. I mean, I can't really remember any 3 of them having or doing anything of note during the game. So I think we'll definitely see. You can jump in whenever you're ready, Bobby. Just kind of talking through the players. I was just saying how, like, I was talking about Valverde, and I was saying how in in that Rooney clip, he actually picked Valverde over Rice, which obviously as an Arsenal fan, I was a bit like, oh, but at the same time, he's class. He's absolutely class. And in that midfield position, I can understand why people would. Bellingham, we kind of spoke about anyway. And then I just literally got onto the 3 attackers, and I was just saying how disappointed I was with all. Well, I say disappointed. I was happy they never played well, because it meant that obviously for us, it was an amazing result. At the same time, they were all dreadful. Over to you.
Yeah, look, let's be honest. That performance for Real Madrid, and you could see it at La Liga levels. You can see it all on their TV. They were shocked by that result and the performance as well. It wasn't just the result, but the performance of Real Madrid. That was horrendous by them. But we took advantage of it, which is unusual for us because normally we don't. So yeah, mate, I haven't had rain. I don't know. I can't remember the last time we actually had any rain up here, but today it's decided to go, you know what, I'm gonna have a storm. So yeah, it's probably gonna kick me out again at some point, so I'm gonna try and get through this show as quick as I can because it's going to be a nightmare. I do rate Jude more over Mbappe and Vinicius, to be honest. Again, me not saying that bad. 100%. I get what you're saying. The reason Valverde is picked over Rice is the multiple that's true, but Valverde is a very, very good player.
He's a good player, man. Yeah, he's a good player.
100%. If I could have Valverde and Rice in our midfield, I'd be delighted.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Absolutely delighted. Big up to Geeks, and good evening. Hope you are both well. I'm doing fine, apart from the weather system up here is just horrendous. Madrid fans, proper fans, trust me, very brutal. Had one bad game, pickheads thrown on pitch. Hold down. About, and that's why exactly, they have one bad game and their fans go mental. Even the media went mental because I don't think anyone was really expecting that, especially as Arsenal fan. I know Tony was very confident, but people like me and G just were not seeing that coming at all. Probably with England is seen as toxic, but each to their own. Yep, I get what you're saying. We'll quickly go for Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. Obviously, they speak for themselves. We all know what they're capable of doing on their day. And Mbappe, obviously. Battles. Now, obviously, Camavinga's out. So it was between Tchouaméni or Valverde. But Valverde isn't as defensive as Tchouaméni is. Obviously, Tchouaméni can play centre-back as well. So he's slightly more defensive. But his passing accuracy is just divine. 94%. I love that. I love passing accuracy. It's just it's a stat that I enjoy. But he has won 65% of his duels compared to Thomas Partey at 54. And this is not me knocking Thomas Partey because I think this season has been his best season. But I'll tell you what's annoying. I'll tell you what's annoying. Why do they always have their best season before they leave us?
Xhaka, isn't it? Yeah, it literally does feel like Xhaka 2.0. It really does.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I literally couldn't. Not that I couldn't stand the man, but I just didn't. He just frustrated me so much. And then he goes and has like literally a worldy season, and then leaves. And it's the same with Partey. Like I was so excited when Partey arrived.
Yeah,
and then obviously, not to say he's a bad player, but he just.
No.
I mean, he just hasn't stayed fit. You know, and then now he plays throughout the whole season, and he's probably going to leave on a free. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Obviously, goalkeepers, it's Courtois against Ray. I don't expect anything different between the two. The stats, to be fair, aren't that different. Saves per game is obviously a lot less for Ray because Ray doesn't have to face so many. Courtois does. Goal scorers, Declan Rice. Look, at the end of the day, I think we got 3 on joint 4 goals. So obviously, I chose him with Declan because obviously he deserves a little bit of limelight. His goal conversion is 29%, which is pretty good, in all fairness. I know a lot of people seem to have agendas with Rice, mainly to do with the money that was spent, but he's worth more than we spent on him now. So I personally don't care anymore about that money because he's worth more than we actually paid. So that for me is good business. So if you're making a profit on him,
you can tell when a player has done well at a club like Declan Rice because nobody really talks about his fee anymore.
No.
Like literally, like on the timeline when he first joined, it was like, robbed and rare, all of this. Now, you very rarely do you see somebody actually talk about the fee. Whereas when you compare it to like players like Pepe, for example, all they ever talk about is the 70-odd mil that we paid for him.
Oh yeah,
70-odd mil. Whereas with the Rice, now they moved the goalpost. Now they changed the goalpost.
You know what it is?
Now it's not the fee anymore.
You know what it is, though, in all seriousness? It's to do with the amount of how much rice actually costs in a supermarket now. Declan's probably cheaper than going to Asda to get some rice. That's what it is. Kylian Mbappe is obviously their top scorer, which doesn't surprise anybody, but his goal conversion rate is only 14%. For a top scorer, he can't be around 20%, so that's what you're kind of looking for. Assists, I chose Bellingham, but he is joint with Modric and someone else. I can't remember the other one is. But basically what I wanted to do was passing actually in the opponent's half for Jude is 87%, which is sublime. Okay. The stats. Yeah. I just don't understand the hate. I know that I died out when you were talking about, well, I asked you about Jude, but yeah, I just don't get the hate on him. I really don't.
I said to the audience that it was more to do. I think it's more to do with the fact that it was Premier League bias. So I think when he was, he kind of made his name at Dortmund. Yeah. And then everybody envisioned that he would come home and he would sign for Liverpool or United or whatever. And I think that some people have seen the way him going to Dortmund and then to Madrid. It's almost like, who the hell does he think he is? What do you mean he doesn't want to play in the Premier League? So I think a lot of it is that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. 21, won the Champions League, won the Liga, had huge big match moments for England. I don't understand what there is to hate about the kid. No, honestly.
Nor do I. I am going to do chosen lineups, but I've just noticed there's a problem with the file that I've uploaded. So I'm going to try and quickly upload it again because I've just noticed there's a slide missing. I've just checked my PowerPoint. It's not missing on that. PowerPoint seriously need to sort themselves out because I've lost a slide for some reason. Rice was a bargain. I wouldn't say a bargain, but I think I said at the time when we signed him, I think we overpaid by about 8 million, in my opinion, which is nothing.
For me, it's money well spent.
Yeah, it is now. At the time, I just thought overspent by a little bit. But now, if we were to, for whatever reason, we had to sell him tomorrow, we would make a profit. So I'm personally happy with that. Temi, I did. Sorry, the reason is, mate. Obviously, I'm dropping out because of the weather, so I'm trying to skip some comments. I do apologise, Tim. I'm going to quickly find them now. Where are you? Right. Oh, blimmin' heck. To not watch 5. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why did you want me to look at these, Tim? Why? Why? Oh, I'm skipping them now. Jeez. Jude is a brand like Trent. Bargain Bobby. I agree with money well spent, but I said it's so fair enough. It is so right. Let's see if this is now uploaded better now because I don't know why it's done that. Let's have a look. Let's see if it's there we go. That's better. Right. Let's move that one. And then we'll go into and G's going to rate these. So this, I get a night off. Haha, lovely. These are the chosen lineups. So the first team, I will have to explain, this is a 5 at the back, so it's 2 wing backs. So they're basically just trying to hold out as long as humanly possible and hope that we get a goal. So they've gone with Raya, White, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Rice, Marino, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. What do you rate that one out of 10?
I don't have an issue with the personnel. I just don't like the setup.
Yeah.
It's not what I would do. Yeah, it's not what I would do. I wouldn't massively change the way we set up and play. I think sitting back and trying to hold on is asking for big trouble, if I'm honest. I really hope that's not how we approach the game. But I mean, the personnel, I mean, is... I also personally, again, sorry, but if I had my way, it would be Marino up top and not Trossard or Martinelli. I'd play Saka. My lineup, my front three would be Saka right, Martinelli left, and Marino down the middle. I wouldn't have Trossard play from the start. I think he's been poor.
Yes,
but I also understand that playing Trossard could be good. You could have Marino come off the bench, more impact. I get that, but I just I mean for the formation, and I mean, Jesus, no party in that side, Lord God.
I think a lot of people, and I'll be honest, I don't think anyone has picked party tonight. So this is that is not down to selection. That is literally because of injury.
I think just because of the formation and the fact that personal preferences, not put Marino in the front three. It's still a good. I mean, I'd give it. I'm probably going to be harsh. I'd give it a 6.
No, it's fine. Yeah, so no one's picked party because they don't feel that he should play.
Okay, I'll remember that.
He is not as fit as what people are going to make out he is, which is going to be a risk if we play him. But I kind of get why we would want to like literally pump him full of meds to try and get him through 90 minutes and hope that it works. I do get
this one.
Yes, next one.
Is this the one on the right? So. Yeah, that
Rice,
one I like.
Marino, Odegaard.
Yeah, that one I like a little bit better just because that's how we usually set up with a back four, midfield 3, up front 3. So I gave the first one a 6.
Yeah.
Obviously, taking into context, I just got to imagine Partey's not fit.
Yeah.
The only thing, again, I would do differently would be the Moreno for Trossard in the middle. But other than that, I've got to give that an 8 because I've got to take away the context of Partey. And stuff like that. So, yeah, I've got to give that an 8.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm not going to blame any of these guys that have done this.
Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, Partey's not fit enough, and I get it. You know,
I prefer this as well because that one's got, like, Timber in right back. Let me see this one.
Yeah, so this one is Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Marino as the DM, which I don't personally like. Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. And the reason I don't like Marino, I think he's too slow as a DM, personally.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to with this one, like the formation. Not a massive fan of where Mourinho's played, so I'm gonna give it one between the 6 and the 8. So I'll give it a 7.
Okay. For some reason, I actually had a moment there. What number is he on? It's been a long day, people.
Yeah.
Right, next one. Raya, White, Saliba, Kivior, Tierney, Rice, Odegaard, Waneri, Saka, Trossard, and Marino. Let's think.
So first thing that shouts at me, no Timber. So so for me, Timber, I would select Timber. So that's the first red flag for me personally. I like the Rice in at 6, imagining that obviously Partey's not around. MLS for me would have to start over KT, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's another red flag. And I personally wouldn't start. I really don't like this team.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, Timber for me should play. MLS should play. I think Nwaneri I wouldn't start. And I think not starting Martinelli on the left is crazy, given that Madrid are going to throw everything at us. They're really weak in the fullback position, and his pace would absolutely annihilate them. So I'm going to have to be harsh, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give that 5.
Okay, fair enough. Right, next one is Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Tierney, Rice, Odegaard, Waneri, Saka, Martinelli, and Merino. So I think that's literally just Timber for Rice. White.
Yeah, I mean that one is going to be slightly better. there is obviously you've got the Timber in there, but then you've still got Nwaneri in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not massively against Nwaneri playing, but I just think, it's crazy because obviously I'd want MLS to play. But I don't know what it is. I'm not. This is not a dig against Nwaneri, but I just feel like they came in like this and Nwaneri was here. But I just feel like MLS has just kind of moved up a few notches.
Yeah.
In terms of performances. So yeah, Timber coming in, that's good. MLS at left back for me, not KT. I'm a little bit concerned about Nwaneri, but I do like the front three. That's the front three I would pick.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be as fair as possible, like with the other ones. So I don't like KT and I don't like Nwaneri. So I'll go with a 7.
Okay, 7. And then the final team is this one: Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Rice, Odegaard, Waneri, Saka, Martinelli, and Bruno.
Yeah, see, that's my goalkeeper in back 4. Without Partey, Rice, Odegaard, 100%. Partey's not around, so I can kind of understand maybe. I do like that team though. Yeah, I like that team. I mean, Nwaneri's in there, but I think putting Nwaneri in there with that back 4, and then you've got Rice in front of that back 4, I think that's enough, and you've got the experience up front. See, that's a side where I would put potentially Nwaneri in, because you've got your regular goalkeeper, you've got your solid back 4 that have been playing together. Obviously, Kivior's come in for Gabriel, but that's just a case of having to. And then you've got Rice in front of that back 4. You've got Odegaard next to Nwaneri, and you've got the experience up front. So, yeah, I'll give that an 8.
Okay, cool. Right, let's take that off before we start the next part. Proper person rating the teams. Chris, seriously, what have I done? What have I done to you? Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Tierney, Geeks has gone for Rice, Party, MLS in midfield, Saka, Marino, and Martinelli. Interesting.
Okay.
Temi's gone with Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, MLS, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. Well, to be fair, mate, he's less than a ghost.
Ain't he missing a player?
Oh, hang on, he is, isn't he?
He is. You're missing a player to me, man.
Yeah, he might. I
think he's got MLS in defence. I think you're missing a midfielder.
Yeah, he is. He's missing one midfielder. Yeah.
Unless he's playing.
Tell me, let me know. Let me know where you've gone with. Brenny's gone with Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Party, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Waneri. Ooh, Martinelli. Ooh, that's different. I like that. Be honest. I'll go with that. Basically, using KT at left back and dropping Mo for MLS. Party I saw in training he's strong enough for the first half. The longer we can hold them off, and all that. Arsenal women are 2-0 up against Leicester. Thank you, Bran. Don't care how we get through, just get the job done. So AFC always. Definitely agree. Yeah, I don't care how we get there. 0-0. I'm quite happy. I'll be the happiest man tomorrow watching a 0-0.
It's about wrestling, man. That's all it's about.
Yeah. Alternative team: Runnison, Neto, Tomiyasu's calf, Kakuri, Calafiori's knee, Zini, Jorginho, Lakonga, Odegaard, Sterling, Sanogo. Trossard, 4-0 winners on the nose. Trust me. God, I think they'll struggle to beat Accrington Stanley, mate. Without Party, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Tierney, Odegaard, Rice, 6, MLS, 8, Saka, Martinelli, Bruno. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure Party will play tomorrow. I think we'll just pump him for the meds. But he's definitely not 100% fit. But it's Party. And he's been brilliant this season. So that's the difference for me. Chris has gone with Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Tierney, Rice, Odegaard. Temi, you nearly made me say Odegaard then. Odegaard, Lewis Skelly, Saka, Marino, Martinez. Same team as first leg, but no Party due to not being. Yeah, I get that as well. Big up to everyone saying hello to each other. Let's try and skip over those. Lewis Skelly is naturally a midfielder. That's why I put him in midfield. I think Tierney is still good left back. Definitely. Partey would be in, but you guys know better about his fitness. Look, I just know he's not fit, but this is Mikel Arteta. He brought on Tomiyasu last, I think, either October or November time, and Tomiyasu was 60% fit, and we haven't seen him since. So there you go. There we go. It is what it is. So anyway, let's have the fun now. Let's do retro time. Oh, no, not retro time. Challenge time. Okay, so for people that don't know the rules, and for G that probably can't remember the rules, choose 5 from the opposition, no unavailable players. Now, the rules have changed, actually, Juice. I've just realised this is the first time you've done it this season for a while, I think. And I have changed the rules since because people were being very cheeky. So you have to pick a minimum of 1 defender, 1 midfielder, and 1 forward from the opposition. Now, everyone was putting them in clumps and all that kind of stuff. I was like, nope, that's not happening. Once you select a player, you cannot swap him. So once you say a name, I have written him down. Formation of the home team is always selected. So I've done, Real Madrid have agreed to this. So it's 2 holding midfielders and an attacking midfielder. So it's technically the same system as ours, just slightly different midfielders. No former players, present squad only. So, G, you want to do Real Madrid first?
Yeah. So how many? So it's 6 Real Madrid players.
5 Real Madrid players.
5 Real Madrid players.
Yeah.
I need to look at their squad. Let me get it up on my phone.
Geeks has given me a very good idea for the next time I do this, where I put the squad list up on the screen so everyone knows.
Going with 5, then I've got to go with Courtois in goal.
Courtois. Okay.
Yeah.
Your next player, please.
I've got to go with Rudiger.
Rudiger. Okay.
Yeah. I've got to go with Vinny.
On the left wing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got to go with Mbappe. Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other player has to be Bellingham.
Okay, as the attacking midfielder, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you got a right back for Arsenal. Who are you going with, Timber or White?
Timber.
Left back?
MLS.
Saliba obviously as the other centre back.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 DMs, Partey and Rice, because you are allowed to pick Partey even though he's a doubt. You're allowed to pick
Partey and Rice.
Okay. And then you want let me think. Saka as the right wing. Right. Okay. So this is G's team. And to be fair, it's very good. And I'm going to stick with what I did last time, maximum 9, because there's a few weaknesses in both teams, and I think a 9 out of 10 is enough. I don't think you can get 10 personally, because they've got weakness in defence. We're missing some players still. So yeah, 9. So G's gone with Courtois, Timber, MLS, Rudiger, Saliba, Partey, Rice, Bellingham, Saka, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. Of course, it's a 9. That's not even. I haven't got to consider that, if I'm honest. Enjoying tonight's football, as I will be feeling sick tomorrow. Yeah, I'll hope. I'm going to try and wrap this up as quickly as possible so we can watch the Villa PSG.
Oh yeah, Villa PSG, isn't it?
Yeah. Big up to Scott saying I'm nervous, mate. So am I. Don't worry. I think some of us are, so don't worry about it. Geeks has gone with Courtois, Timber, Saliba, Rudiger, MLS, Bellingham, Rice.
Yeah, 19.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Quality. Mate, that's a side.
My challenge team has 9 Madrid players. Idiot left back and Saka. Oh my god.
Oh, tell me, man.
Can't remember their formations, so I did a 4-3-3. Well, no, it's fine. It's pretty much what it is. So it's fine. It fits all. But all fits in fine. But you are up against 2 people. Let's see if they can score just as well as you have. So we're going to start with Adams first. So he's gone with Courtois, White, Saliba, Asensio, Tierney, Partey, Valverde, Bellingham, Saka, Martinelli, and Mbappe. I have to be honest, it's good, but it's not a 9.
Yeah.
So Adams going to get an 8.
The other one,
but it is a good team.
The other ones are catching.
Santiago has gone with Raya, Timber, Saliba, Rudiger, Luis Skelly, Valverde. Right, yeah, that's a 9. Well done, Santiago. He gets a 9. So yeah, that was very simple, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. Odegaard has to be Odegaard considering his poor performance over. If he's not careful, he could quite easily be an autofoul because currently I just don't enjoy watching him. It's hard because he comes on games now, and I go, if you noticed he came on, because I don't even notice he comes on now, and that's a shame.
3-0 to the Arsenal ladies now.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Scott, I guarantee he'll play, but he is definitely not fit. So I don't normally do this. I normally go against Mikel with playing unfit players, but tomorrow I kind of get it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
With no Jorginho, if we had Jorginho, then I would have been a little bit harsher on Mikel. But we have no Jorginho. I'm not seeing Mikel Merino there because I guarantee that's who he'll put there. He won't put Declan. He'll put Mikel Merino. And I don't want to see Mikel Merino in midfield either because I don't like him in midfield. He's awful.
No, safe.
So for once, I'm actually going to back up Mikel on this one. Massive performances from Saliba, Odegaard. We need them. Big time. Right, let's do retro one now. Let's do this.
This is going to be interesting.
Okay, for people that don't know the rules, not played this game, you've got to choose 6 from the Arsenal, 5 from the opposition. There will be a squad list that comes up. They will be on the screen, G, so you don't need to memorize anything, so you'll be okay. But again, 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 forward from the opposition has to be selected. Once you select a player, you cannot swap him. Formation of the home team is always selected. So again, it's Real Madrid's formation of a 4-3-3, 2 holding midfielders. Right. So the game I did pick, I did warn everyone about this. It was the second leg from the 2006 game in the Champions League where we beat them 1-0. So I did warn everyone because this is the only time we played them, to be fair. So these are the squad lists. So we're going to go through Arsenal's squad list first, whilst G chooses who he wants to pick. Arsenal had Lehmann, Eboué, Touré, Senderos, Flamini at left back, Kleb, Fabregas, Gilberto Silva, Reyes, Lundberg, and Henry. On the bench was Almunia, Diaby, Perez, Song, Walcott, Giroud, and Lupoli. For Real Madrid, it was Casillas, Cicinho, Ramos, Woodgate, Roberto Carlos, Gravison, Beckham, Guti, Zidane, Robinho, Ronaldo. On the bench was Cobino, Miguel Salgado, Raul, Batista, Cassano, Diogo, and Maya. Right. Now, you can get a 10 out of these, just so everyone's fully aware. You can get a score out of 10 because it is doable to get a 10. Even with Senderos in the Arsenal team, you can still get a 10. Don't. I'm not saying pick him because you won't get a 10. But with the way that you create the team, you can get a 10. Right. G, you're going to start with Real Madrid again first.
Yeah. What formation are we playing?
So it's literally the same formation we've just done. So 2 holding midfielders, an attacking midfielder, right winger, left winger, striker, and obviously the defense.
Okay, cool. I'm going to have to go with Casillas in goal.
Casillas in goal. Okay.
5, right?
Yep.
I'm going to have to go with Ramos and Roberto Carlos.
Okay. Where do you want to put Ramos? Because obviously Ramos can play more than just centre back.
Yeah, I'm playing Ramos at the centre back position.
Okay, and Roberto as
at left back. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's gonna have to be Zidane and Beckham.
Okay, so Dan as the AM, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And Bex as the right wing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right back from the Arsenal, who are you having?
Eboué.
Okay. Now, obviously, you want Senderos as the centre back. Quite clearly. Touré. 2 DMs. Who are you having?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. Obviously, one is Gilberto Silva.
Yep.
But looking at both teams, they don't really have. I mean, I've got the Madrid and the Arsenal lineups up. So I would definitely, one would be Gilberto Silva.
Yeah.
Let me look at their subs. Our subs. Because I'm looking at like Fabregas is not a DM. I know he could probably play in that kind of more. Yeah, I'll stick Fabregas in there.
Okay. Okay, so you got your left winger. Who do you want now?
Reyes.
And your striker is obviously
Thierry.
Napoli. Yeah, Napoli. I thought so.
Has to be.
Okay, so G has gone with, for the retro, Casillas in goal, Bue, Roberto Carlos, Ramos, Toure, Gilberto Silva, Fabregas, Zidane, Beckham, Reyes, and Henry. Now, I did say this was a maximum 10. Can I be harsh?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure by it myself.
No, I someone else has picked Fabregas as DM, and I'll be honest, I was allowing that because I was thinking Gilberto will be the more holding midfielder, and Fabregas will push on a little bit. So I'm allowing a little bit of flexibility with the midfielders, if I'm honest. So I'm going to give that.
Go on.
I was going to give that a 10 because it's quality.
You know what it was? It was really difficult because, like, obviously, like the Henry Ronaldo thing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Henry's amazing. Like, but at the same time, if you were to say to me, like, completely unbiased, who was better, R9 or Henry, I'd probably say R9. Mm-hmm. But for that game, obviously, he was the decider, wasn't he? It's a hard one. I think with Henry and Ronaldo, it's one of those ones where I don't think it really matters which one you picked. They're both just top-class strikers.
100%, mate.
And you know what? The other thing as well, I really liked Guti. Yeah. I really liked Guti. Like, Guti was one of, like, for me, he's one of the most underrated players. Like, I really used to enjoy watching him. So it was quite difficult doing that. But yeah, I'm glad I got a 10.
Yeah, well, good luck for whoever's got the weekend game against Ipswich.
I think I'm busy on the weekend.
So Chris has now done. I don't know, he's slightly behind probably. So he's done the challenge, the first team challenge.
Okay.
So the Courtois, Timber, Saliba, Rudiger, Alaba from years ago. I'll be fair, he's still a decent player. He's just not.
He's
fit.
still a good player.
He's nowhere near fit. We can tell that. But he's just watching. Partey, Rice, Valverde, Saka, Martinelli as a striker. Rodrigo. Yeah, that's a 9, mate. Good team. Not wrong with that. I did. I did hear about this. It was very funny. The fact that obviously Madrid are closing their roof.
That's made it on Sky Sports and everything, mate.
It was funny, to be fair. That was brilliant. Ironic, Senderos is awful. I'm sorry, but he is. Chris has also gone for the challenge too, so we'll go through his. Casillas, Eboué, Toure, Ramos, Carlos, Gilberto Silva, Zidane, Fabregas, Beckham, Henry, Perez wasn't catching me out with Bergkamp. No, I like that, mate. That's a 10 as well. That's easy. Can't remember. Like Thomas Gravison played for Everton as well. He was a very good DM. I won't let anyone knock him because he was a hard worker. I think he was he Danish? I think he was Danish, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was from Denmark.
Yeah, but he was quality. He was good. He wasn't one of their best players ever, but he was good in the Premier League. I liked him. Henry, always players you can pick from in retro is divine. Yeah, we'll wait till the Ipswich one. That ain't going to be divine. That's going to be horrendous. Right, he's up against 2 other people. So we'll just bring up who he's up against. He's up against Ian. Ian's gone with Casillas, Eboué, Toure, Alex Song. Now, I know when people have made an error. They've obviously gone too quick because obviously I check messages. If things are edited, I know that you've changed your team. And he hasn't, to be fair to him, but he obviously went too quick with these pickings because Alex Song as a centre back. No way. Roberto Carlos, Flamini. I don't have no problems with Flamini as a DM. He's a very good DM, to be fair. He's obviously a multi-millionaire now. Fabregas, Zidane, Beckham, Henry, and Ronaldo. And for Ian, I have to do this. I'm sorry, Ian, but Song as a centre back. Hell no.
Not with.
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. No.
Gone again.
No, sorry, it's my video, mate.
Okay.
Right. Let's look at Fernando's. Okay, so he's gone with Lehmann, Salgado, Ramos, Toure, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto Silva, Fabregas, Zidane, Walcott, Real, and Henry. I don't feel comfortable giving him a 10. I'll be honest. There's just so many weird things going on there. Salgado, very good right back. I do like him a lot. Lehmann better than Casillas, I struggle with, if I'm honest. I like Lehmann, don't get me wrong. There's definitely no hate towards Lehmann. But better than Casillas, no. Why Walcott's in there is beyond me. Over Lundberg, Reyes.
Beckham and Lundberg, jeez, man.
Beckham, no.
Yeah, no disrespect to Walcott, man. Loved him, but jeez. There's too much wing talent for Walcott to be in there.
Obviously, Fernando, you watch way too much Spanish football, and because you think he's a pundit, it means he's a very good player. He was a good player, but he's not that good. So Fernando's going to get a score. I'm not going to fail him because he's at least picked some players. I have to give it an 8. I'm going to be quite harsh, to be fair. So that's an 8 for Fernando. Right, let's take that off because we're going to talk about predictions in a minute. Let's have a look. Looks like PSG have scored.
Oh yeah, they have. Hakimi.
End to end, Chris saying the game there. I know him now.
That's the thing, though. You see, if you throw the kitchen sink at a team, they can pick you off.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Should have let Travis do the. It was weird because obviously I've seen the conversation between Canis and Travis today, and I was thinking they have not seen the retro challenge tonight because obviously Zidane has been mentioned. Wow, didn't know Alex Song was at Arsenal back then. I thought it was later than that.
I saw Lipoli on the bench. Jesus. I remember when he was considered the next big Italian striker. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely not. Definitely did not work. Hakimi with a goal for PSG. Casillas, the greatest goal. Yeah, he's definitely up there in mine. Oliver Kahn is up there.
There's no way I couldn't pick Casillas, man. Jeez.
Yeah, there's some just extremely good goalkeepers in my lifetime. Oliver Kahn doesn't get talked about enough. I love Neuer, but I personally
Oliver Kahn, man.
Walcott pace, but offside always says Scott. Yeah, he never run it over. Right, let's do predictions, people. G, what are you going with, mate? This is so hard, this one.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I don't know why, but it's just been screaming at me all week. My kind of hunch is that it's going to be a score draw.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how are you envisaging that happening? Real Madrid go up 2 goals and Arsenal bring 2-2?
I think Madrid are going to get 1.
Okay.
They might even get 2.
Oh, God.
And then I think we will come back into it. And once we come back into it, then I think they're going to get an early goal. If I'm honest, that's just my hunch. I mean, hopefully I'm completely wrong. But I think they're going to come at us really fast. And I think they could be 1 up within the first kind of 10-15 minutes. And I think they might even be 2 up by half time. And I think all of us are going to be losing our minds. And then I think we will definitely score. And I think as soon as we score, the whole reflection of the game will shift again. That's just my gut. So I think it will be nervy at times, but I think overall, when we look at the game at the end of it, we'll be like, oh, well, really, that was actually like 5-2 on aggregate. That was quite comfortable, but it's not going to feel comfortable. So I think I'm going for a score draw 2-2.
Fair enough, mate. I'm seeing what people are putting. Chris has gone for 2-1 to Real Madrid. I can see that, and I'll take it. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'd happily lose on the night and go through.
As long as we go through. But, 100%. So Chris has gone for 2-1 to Real Madrid. Temi has not done his reverse psychology this time. He's going for a 1-1. Again, I'll take it, which is why I'm watching the game, because that's normally what I do, 1-1 games. I always predict games, but no, fair dues. Don't mind. I think, oh, God. That's my fear. That's my fear, is Real Madrid go up 2 goals.
That's what I think, though. Honestly, I do. I just have this feeling that it's gonna go. It's gonna seem like it's gonna go away from us, and then we're gonna claw it back and go through. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
But I do hope I'm wrong. I hope that they come at us, we score 2 quick goals, and then we can just chill for the next like 70 minutes. But it's when do we ever do things easy?
No, it's this Arsenal.
Like apart from the last time we played them. But I don't think this is going to be a breeze.
No,
it's not going to be a breeze.
No. It wasn't a breeze when we played them last.
No, exactly. So so it's not going to be.
That was a shock. That was a shock for a lot of people because
if we had tucked away a couple more, if we were going in fives, then I'd be like, if it
was a PSV scoreline, I'd be confident.
Yeah, it's a wrap. But 3-0 is like. It's one of those like techie score lines, isn't it? Because
it is,
and it's because it's Madrid as well.
Exactly.
And we know that Madrid can score 2 goals in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So it's a tricky one.
No, I've seen Scott has just predicted 2-2. He's doing an alternative result reserved for psychology here, but it's painful to read. Madrid, Vinny Braves, Saliba Howler own goal, penalty concession, and a red card. I can honestly see something changing that game tomorrow. I just can see it.
A penalty, a red card.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing we need to worry about is that even if we negotiate tomorrow night, we've got some real key players on a suspension.
Oh, yes.
Man. We've got, I think it's Rice, Timber, Partey, and I think Martinelli. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think those are the 4. And that, I mean, even if we were to progress, and then someone like Rice picks up a yellow card in the 90th minute, you got to be thinking, oh, God, really? Because they're not. I think out of all those 4 players, like envision those 4 players not playing in a semi-final. Like I can't even choose which one I'd want to miss the game. Timber for me is instrumental. Rice instrumental. Partey this season has been phenomenal, and Martinelli. I feel like Martinelli is coming good at the end of the season. Yeah, and this might work in our favor in this Champions League run because on his day he can be absolutely unplayable. Oh, yeah. So that's my concern as well. My concern is not only trying to negotiate, this second tie, but also trying to ensure that none of our players get suspended. But that's going to be so hard in the battle.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. I see us. Yeah, I do see us scoring. That's the positive I have is I do see us scoring. Yeah. I know we don't score many goals, but I do see us at least scoring once. Brenny's had a go at the retro challenge. Lehmann, Salgado, Ramos, Toure, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto, Fabregas, Zidane, Reyes, Henry. Yeah, that's a 10. No issues with that. Scott, I have put down your prediction. Brenny's gone with a 2-1 to Real Madrid as well. Okay. I remember about Kiwi in this game. He was so good at home, but Madrid away will be tough for him, especially with a lack of games. Kivior. Sorry, I was trying to think who's a New Zealander. I was trying to think who's a New Zealander. Right, now, yes, Kivior, yes. To be fair, he's done very well. And I don't quite get Arsenal fans sometimes. And I'm not on about you, G, because I know you're not like this. But he is a very good player, Kivior. He's a very good centre-back. And when you don't play anybody, and it's not just him, if you don't give them playing time, they all look rusty when they first come back. And if you give them some confidence, yes, he's got an error in him, but so has Saliba. And people forget that.
And
they've all got errors.
Gabriel did.
Yeah.
This is probably the first season, maybe large parts of last season, but mate, when Gabriel came, he would just hack pillars down in the penalty area. He had what me and my mates used to say bozo moments. He had real like bozo moments. He'd look so dominant and secure for like 89 minutes, and then they just have a moment, and that was it. He just lost his, his decision making was awful. But he's done really well in terms of that, because now he seems to have eliminated that out of his game, which is amazing. But every defender, every goalkeeper, particularly the way we play, particularly the way we pass it out from the back, we're always going to make mistakes. I mean, just ask United fans.
Exactly, mate. But guys, but yeah, guys, we are done. Thank you ever so much for joining us once again. I will be back tomorrow for the watch along. I'll be back on Thursday for the match reaction, whatever happens. So I won't be hiding no matter what. I will be here on Thursday to do the match reaction. G, as always, thank you very much for coming on. It's been great to see you again. It's been a long time. Where can they find you, my friend?
No, thank you so much for having me on. I mean, like I said, it feels like I've done my debut all over again. It's been such a long time, but no, it's amazing. I love being on the shows with you and talking Arsenal. I mean, I've been off work all last week and this week. So as you can see by my Twitter or X, my ex, what you call it? My wife says screen time has been a bit mad recently. But yeah, so as you can see on the screen, G talks Arsenal because I'm G and I talk a lot, as you can tell. So you can find me on X. I mean, that's the only real platform that I do my Arsenal thing on. I tried Insta, didn't like it. Tried Facebook, didn't like it. So yeah, if you aren't following me on X, just type in G talks Arsenal. You'll see me smiling, and then just give me a follow. And if for whatever reason I don't follow you back, just pop me a DM. And obviously, as it says at the top of the screen, if you want to join the WhatsApp group, so if anybody in here does want to join that WhatsApp group, just also send me a DM as well. And then I'll pick that message up and I'll pop you in the WhatsApp group on behalf of me and Bobby.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. But yeah, message us and we'll get you on the group WhatsApps, and we'll also get you involved in the shows, which we have done with a few people recently. So we've got Cole that's new, Damo, Nick, many people. Literally, we're an open door policy. We'd just like having a good old chat about Arsenal. It's crazy to be nervous being 3-0 up. I just can't help it, mate. I don't think any of us should feel crazy for being nervous at 3-0. A lot of us have watched football for many years, and a team can be 3-0 up at half time and still lose the game. So, and that's technically what this is. It's first half is done. Now we got the second half. Oh, right, my G. He is our G, mate. But guys, I will definitely see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Good night, people.